What up, everyone? It's your boy Patty, also known as Tox, and you are listening to Tox Tales. So, for today's story, I'm going to be doing a story from my college years back in 2013, which was the third year of my college career, but it was also the first year of me attending the state school that I transferred to after my first 2 years of college. So, I was living off campus with a couple of friends, and we were kind of a party house, I'm not going to lie. And speaking of that, I think now is a good time to do my classic Tox Tales disclaimer for the episode. So here it is. I do not endorse the use of illicit substances of any kind or alcohol. All these stories are for educational and entertainment purposes only. Do not try this at home. Alright, so we were having a party one night at my first off-campus house in the state school I was going to in 2013. We called it Poop House, by the way. And we were having a pretty small party. It wasn't anything crazy, but it was like a Friday night, I'm pretty sure. And it was the winter. I remember that. So it was like the middle of the school year, probably like December-ish, maybe November at the earliest. And I had my really close friends with me, and the rest of the people that were at this party were kind of randos or friends of my roommates or whatever. And the friends I had with me will be referring to as Devin, Aaron, and Trent. So it was still kind of early in the evening, at least early for a Friday night during college. So it was like midnight, maybe 1:30 at the latest. And we were all just drinking mainly, other than my friend Devin, who was on acid. And this is important for later, so don't forget that. So the setup of this apartment, which was a house that had an apartment in the downstairs and an apartment upstairs. We were the downstairs apartment. When you'd walk into our apartment, you'd walk right into the kitchen first, and then to the right was the living room, but it was attached, so once you turned right, you were basically just in the living room at that point. And when you first walked into the living room, to the left was a door to our back porch or back balcony. It was a back porch, but it was elevated, so it was technically a balcony too. But then when you turned right when you got into the living room, you would be right at our first couch, which was this orange couch. And then if you kept going further into the living room, it was all the other couches and like a circle and like a coffee table and the TV. So we just had like this one section when you first walked into the living room that was kind of separate from everything else, with this one couch, and I think there was a small little table, like a dining room table, if you want to call it that. So it's me and my three friends standing above the orange couch when you first walk into the living room, and the rest of the people at this, small party are basically on the other side of the living room, doing whatever, watching something, drinking, laughing, also doing a very similar thing to what we're doing. Yelling over each other, of course, because once you get that many intoxicated people in a room, that's just bound to eventually happen. So in the midst of all of this, I hear my front door of my apartment open, which causes no alarm at first, because this was basically a people coming in and out kind of scenario all of the time at this house. We were very like open door policy. People were always coming, people were always going. So nothing about hearing my front door immediately alarmed me. I just assumed somebody else, another friend of ours, was walking in. And I see this dude walk around the corner of the kitchen into the living room. And he's massive. He's super tall. And I don't recognize him at all. But also, like, I have 3 other roommates. There's a ton of people there. So I'm not thinking, like, who the fuck's this guy? I mean, I am thinking that, but not like in an aggressive way. I'm just kind of assuming he knows somebody there, or he knows one of my roommates. He's one of my roommate's friends. So he walks in, but he's hammered, and you can tell immediately, like, stumbling drunk. I'm like, oh boy, this is interesting. And he walks in between me and my friends standing above the couch, like near the couch, talking, and he just collapses on the couch and passes out. Like, immediately is asleep. And slowly but surely, we're all looking at each other as we're talking. And finally, one of my friends speaks up and is like, hey man, do you know that guy? And I'm like, no. None of you guys know him? And they're like, no. So I like realized that there's a possibility that nobody knows him, but I gotta figure that out. So I walk over to everybody at the other side of the room, and my roommates are over there, and I ask all 3 of them, hey, do any of you guys know this guy? And they all look at him and they're like, nah, I've never seen him before in my life. And I look at the rest of the people at the party, and I'm like, does anybody know this man that's laying on the couch over here? And everybody stands up, looks at him. They all just shake their head slowly. And I'm like, oh, great. That's just fucking great. So I walk back over to the couch, and now my 3 friends are standing above this dude, like basically surrounding him. And my friend Trent, who is like this bigger, more bombastic kind of like larger than life kind of guy, he grabs a chair from that little dining room table type thing I was talking about earlier, and he pulls it up right next to this dude, and he starts trying to talk to him. And he's actually awake, we surprisingly find out, but he's like half asleep. So Trent's like, hey buddy, what are you doing here? Nobody knows you in this house. I think you're in the wrong house. And he's like, no, just let me sleep. And I'm like, hey man, this is my house, and you're not supposed to be here. A little bit more stern. And I'm like, you got about 10 seconds to get up and leave. He's like, no, man, just let me sleep, please. And then Devin's like, yo, man, we're going to beat you the fuck up. So he's the one who's on acid, by the way, if you guys don't remember. He's just staring at this dude, looking down at him, pancake pupils, just threatening to beat the shit out of him. And I'm immediately like, Devin, stop, dude. We're not beating up anybody. Stop saying that. That's so aggressive. He's like, I don't know, man. He's all fucking freaking out because he's tripped his balls off. So I say again, just like more sternly, hey, man, you got to leave. This isn't your house. This is my house. Don't make me have to call like the cops or some shit. And to this, he responds with, oh, just let me sleep. He like yells it at us aggressively now. I'm like, no, that's not fucking happening. And my friend Trent's like trying to keep it peaceful. He's like, everyone calm the fuck down. Stop freaking out. No one get aggressive. There's absolutely no reason for that. We can figure this out. We'll find a way to resolve this. And he starts talking to the guy. And he's like, hey, man. Hey, buddy. I know you're really tired right now. I know you're so freaking tired. And I get it, man. It's so hard when you're so tired and you just want to sleep. And the whole time, the guy's going, like, yeah, that's true. Like, he's, like, kind of talking to Trent while he's half asleep and wasted. And eventually, Trent's just like, but the thing is, man, you gotta go. You can't be here. Do you have somewhere to go? Because we can help you find out where you're going or figure out where you're going, and we can bring you there. And he's like, no, it's fine. I just need to sleep. And Trent's like, yeah, man, I get it. You got to sleep, and you're tired. But you can't fucking sleep here, man. You just can't. And this goes on for like 10 more minutes between me and Trent and Aaron and Devin. We're just trying to get this fucking guy to leave my fucking apartment because it's just uncomfortable now. And we're just trying to enjoy our Friday night. We didn't ask for any of this shit. And then finally, this guy out of nowhere sits straight up. It freaks the shit out of all of us because we're not expecting it. And he just goes, fine, fuck! And he gets up and he stumbles out of the house. It's like so obviously hammered out of his mind. And we all just start laughing hysterically, like cackling at this fucking guy as he stumbles out of my apartment. And just the whole situation in general because it was so ridiculous. And it just was something I will never forget either because the feeling that I felt when I really realized finally that nobody in my house knew who this guy was is something I can't really even explain. I wasn't like scared, but it was like a feeling of dread. Like I had to just deal with this situation now, and I asked for none of it. And all I was doing was trying to enjoy myself on a Friday night with my friends. But that's basically it. The rest of the night went totally normal for a Friday night at college back in those days. So if you guys liked the story, if you liked the video, go ahead and hit the like button and comment below with some of your crazy party or college stories where some random people may have showed up or some other type of incident kind of related or adjacent to that. And subscribe if you're new. And that's it. Peace out, yo.